Hey there, Elaine Michaels here, and I'm here to bring you the branding training today. And let's get started. Okay, so what is your brand? Okay, this is something that was totally new that we learned at the recent boot camp that we went to. And it talked about really branding you. And so what you want to take a look at is finding out what is unique to you and what you really care about, and building your own brand. Everybody's brand is kind of unique to themselves, and it actually gives you an advantage, especially if you're building a business. Okay, the idea is that you own your brand, okay, and you use your brand to build awareness. Because if you were to use your company as your brand, let's say some people have done, and I've seen this, and so they brand themselves as their company, and then their company folds. Where does that leave you? It leaves you scrambling for another company, and so when you have to start with another company, think about your audience. Do they then trust you? Or if you leave a company and you go with another company and you brand it with that company, you're going to lose the trust of your audience or even your team members, right? So if you brand yourself, and what you believe in and what you really are passionate about, it really doesn't matter which company you're with, okay, or how many companies you're with. You could have multiple companies under you, and it would be okay because people are following you. Okay, so an example that they gave is, take a look at Nike. Okay, everybody knows the Nike swoosh. You see that swoosh, just do it. I mean, it's a given, right? If you were to be able to buy the company and all the apparel and the shoes and the gear and everything, but the one condition was the company said, we're going to remove the swoosh from everything, would you buy that company? And would you think that customers would be running to buy your products? Probably not, because Nike has branded the swoosh and everything, and everybody is sort of following that, right? So once you have figured out your brand, what do? Okay, your branding is going to be the heart of advertising, and so what you really need to do is protect your brand. And how you do that is by setting up a blog. And for example, I decided to brand myself, and so my brand is elainemichaels.com, and so I have attached WordPress to that domain name, and hopefully I'll be creating my brand. It's kind of an evolution process, and so it's going to take some time to tweak it and everything. And a great way to do that is by joining MLSP, which I will give you the link to sign up for MLSP. It is a really great way to build a blog and then kind of add the other social media platforms to it, so that your centralized brand is from your blog, and then everything else you can use to sort of feed into your blog, or have some kind of connection with your blog, and to reach out to people, friends and family. Okay, most people probably use Facebook on our group, is what I'm thinking. And if you do have a certain platform that you use, the recommendation is to go with one. Start with one and really focus on that first, and then kind of take on other spokes as you can. If you're going to use Facebook, the question was, do you use your personal Facebook page or do you create a fan page? And there are a lot of limitations with using your personal Facebook page. It may get you a few customers in the beginning, but you're going to end up kind of turning people off or turning people away if you keep posting on your personal fan page. So the recommendation is to go and create a fan page where you can talk about your business openly, and you'll be attracting people who are interested in either the products or the business. And you'll actually have a lot more reach that way, because you do have Facebook Live on there. You do have unlimited likes. You can connect with more people outside of your network that way. Of course, you can start out on your personal Facebook page and then direct the traffic to your fan page when you're getting started. But the recommendation is not to spam people who are your friends on your personal Facebook page with stuff that they might not be interested in. And what that's going to do is just really close off a lot of relationships and connections that you have made. Okay, so those are the other social media platforms. And if you want to know more about those, we can have another training session on that. Okay, so now you've got your brand. Okay, my brand is ElaineMichaels.com. I'm a physical therapist, and I work 15 minutes a night as an entrepreneur. Now what do I do with that brand? So when we were at the boot camp, Ray Higdon said this quote, which just really stood out to me. The best way to build an audience, become an authority, and attract perfect reps and customers is to out-teach your competition through free content. And that's what he did. That's what he recommended Bob Heilig do. And so, so on your fan page, what you want to do is provide people with value. Okay, and where do you get this value? Where do you get this content? And he talked a lot about where the sources of content were. For example, if I'm sharing with mom entrepreneurs on how to build their business, I'm going to be sharing, my notes from the boot camp that I went to, or books that I have read, or webinars I have listened on, like if I had taken any notes. Ray Higdon repeated this several times, is that your notes are uncashed checks. And that's how you should look at them. He said that we shouldn't be just taking notes and keeping them to ourselves, because when you create value for other people, they're going to be attracted to you, right? So, other source of ideas he had for us was to look on magazines at the grocery checkout line and also bookstores, because a lot of marketing goes into those covers of the magazines and the headlines, and that's something called copy. And so you want to take a look at what they're doing, find out what is the latest craze or news in your niche, and sort of tweak those to fit you and to fit it authentically to your brand or your blog. And that way you can create more content and never run out of content for people. Okay, the other thing we talked about is how to reach people. The best way to reach people and build an audience is through video. And not only that, they told us to build video at this point in time with Facebook Live. And I know that is very, very scary for a lot of people. It was for me. I was like, no way am I doing that. But he sort of challenged us. Our takeaway from the boot camp was, if that's the thing that scares you the most, that's what you need to do, and do it consistently. So why do Facebook Live? It's raw and it's real. It hasn't been edited. It hasn't been touched up. It hasn't been perfected. It's the way you are. And it's people want to see that. They want to feel that connection with you. And it's okay that it's not perfect. It's okay that you messed up. It's okay that you show that you're really, really nervous to do it. Because think about it. If you think about how many viewers tune into reality shows, it's purely for that reason, because it's happening, you know, real time and live. So think about that. Okay, and the thing you need to do with it is don't give up. Don't give up after a week or 2 weeks or 2 months when you're like, I'm not really getting much of an audience. I don't know why, you know, I'm doing this. I don't think anyone's watching. Keep doing it, because Bob Heilig was doing this for 6 months, giving out free content and teaching people. And people were saying, oh, you really should charge for coaching for this, and you should do that. And he was like, no, no, no. I'm here to provide people with value. And he kept doing it, and after 1 year, he made his first like $100,000 check or something like that. So you have to keep tweaking it as you go, though. You know, like see what's working and try to continue doing more of that, or find different content, or do it a different way, or provide more entertainment. I mean, it's a learning process. It's not like you just have to keep plugging away. You do, but you know, keep trying to improve it every time. Okay, so when you're doing the video, they gave us the formula for the essential pieces of your video. Okay, so first you need to introduce yourself, because some people may be tuning in for the first time. Introduce yourself, give a little brief thing about your brand maybe, and then ask a question. Maybe it's a question that you've heard people asking, or a question that is something that people are needing to find a solution to, right? So if you do that, then you share your notes on that, your takeaways, your tidbits, and then at the end, make sure you put a call to action. And a great example of this I'm going to show next is from our direct upline, Haley Neville, who's an Emerald Ambassador, and she created a video for us to share, and I'm going to share it with you so you can see all the different parts that's essential to a video. Okay, and last but not least, now that you have the tools to go out, build your brand, and build an audience, you need to go out and do it. Okay, so my challenge to you is to take action today. Even if, you know, you don't have your makeup on, or if you don't feel ready, or you don't have notes, just do it. Because after you know, sort of pull that Band-Aid off, it's really not so bad afterwards, and you'll see it gets easier and easier. All right, stay tuned for the next training, and we hope to have it for you soon, probably on prospecting, and also about sharing about that compensation plan. All right, bye-bye.